My doc told me I had stage 3B kidney disease and that this is not curable. I will end up on dialysis and need a kidney transplant. Everything changed when I started to follow your advice. But I had to do a leap of faith because most of the foods you said to eat were off limits for me. I've lost 30 pounds. I'm in remission and I don't need to see my doctor anymore. Catherine here. I've been helping kidney disease patients take control of their own health for more than a decade now. And today, the big question is the food you eat protecting your kidneys or is it damaging them? For some people, the correct answer to this question can make all the difference between ending up in dialysis and total remission from kidney disease. Guys, I really can't understand why so many kidney disease patients are still being told today to eat a great number of very unhealthy foods. Yes, sometimes the right foods are not what you think. Sometimes the right foods are exactly those foods you were told to avoid. This is what we are going to learn today from this amazing success story. Lisa, that shared with us her incredible success story, is living proof that this is possible. She is proof that you can reverse kidney disease as long as you know what to eat and what to avoid. Lisa, who shared her story with us, is a 46-year-old bookstore owner and she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes 20 years ago. In 2022, she was also diagnosed with kidney disease. Her kidneys were starting to deteriorate and her doctor told her to prepare for dialysis. However, today, Lisa is in remission from kidney disease and she is not going to see her nephrologist anymore. And all that happened in just 6 months. She shared more details with me via email. She also shared her before and after weight loss pictures. She lost 30 pounds. Lisa is not a kidney disease patient anymore. So naturally, I asked her if she wanted to do a little interview here, so she could answer some of the questions that can be more interesting for you guys following me here. This is how she did it. I have kidney disease and I managed to put it into remission. A year ago, my doc told me I had stage 3B kidney disease and that this is not curable. I would end up on dialysis and need a kidney transplant, maybe even more than one in my life. I'm just 46 and my outlook was bleak at best. I was always tired, depressed, anxious, and worried for my family. How would they cope without me? But then, something clicked in me. I decided I wasn't going to accept this fate. I started looking for answers. I was searching for anything that could give me hope. Can chronic kidney disease be reversed? Can stage 3 CKD be stopped? Even search just for a little hope like, can stage 3 CKD improve? That happened in 2022. I had stage 3B chronic kidney disease and my creatinine was 2.1 milligrams per DL. I double checked that number because today my creatinine is half what I had in 2022. Okay. Thank you very much, Lisa, for sharing your story and congratulations on your improvement. It's always a great joy for me when one of you guys shares their success story with me. And guys, if you think this success story is inspiring, share this video with anyone you know who is suffering from diabetes or kidney disease and give this video a like so more people will get to see it. Because that's how she found me. She was literally searching for hope. Today we know that kidney disease is reversible. This is a proven fact and no one can take it away from us. And I'm incredibly happy that she was able to find out about this, because not many doctors today are going to tell their patients that reversing kidney disease is possible. Now, her story is really interesting, but one of the most interesting parts, in my opinion, is the process of unlearning what she was taught about the diet for diabetes. Let's see why. In 2022, looking at my number, I also had a fasting glucose of 189 milligrams per dl, a total cholesterol of 367 milligrams per dl. All that bad numbers are going up, as my doc said. I've been on a low-carb diet for 6 years now. I thought it was the best thing for me since I have type 2 diabetes. I only ate 25 grams of carbs per day. Each meal consisted of foods like eggs, dairy, beef, chicken, and fish, combined with either non-starchy vegetables or berries. I stayed away from all the stuff that was supposed to raise my insulin. No processed foods, no added sugars, no refined flour, no high GI fruits like bananas, melons, pineapples, grapes, no starchy veggies like potatoes, beets, corn. I was super careful, but my fasting glucose was always too high. So she was religiously eating what many people still consider the right diet for diabetes today. But over 6 years of this diet, her numbers were only getting worse. So guys, can you spot what was her problem here? So, if you said that avoiding carbs was her main problem here, you are right, and not just because all the protein she was eating damaged her kidneys, also because 25 grams of carbs is what you are supposed to eat in a meal, maybe a snack. And yet, she was getting just 25 grams of carbs in the whole day. Each of her meals consisted of eggs, dairy, beef, chicken, and fish. And as she found out, that was not just very, very bad for her kidneys. That diet was also making her gain weight. Improving her fasting sugar levels was impossible. So, the big question is, why is it a bad idea to avoid carbs with diabetes? And I know that despite what current research about diabetes says, some people still don't believe me when I say that they must eat fruit with diabetes. So instead of answering this question with words, I will answer with pictures. Here's why you should never replace fruit with meat, egg, dairy. This is what 200 calories of cheddar cheese look like, okay? That's a small portion of cheese, just 51 grams, and it makes me hungry just to look at it. I know that if I eat that small piece of cheese, I'm going to want some more. Also because, and many people don't know this, but cheese releases casomorphins, a substance very chemically similar to certain narcotics. Eating cheese results in a little hit of dopamine in your brain that makes you feel good. And you always want more cheese when you eat a small piece of cheese. And she was eating this regularly. This, on the other hand, is what 200 grams of sweet, delicious honeydew melon looks like. And when I look at this portion of melon, what I think is, I'm not going to be able to eat anything else if I eat all that melon. I'm probably not even going to be able to finish that plate of melon. I mean, you will need to eat more than 500 grams or 19 oz of honeydew melon to get 200 calories. And keep in mind that restricting calories is the only thing in the world that can make you lose weight, alright? And that excess body weight is the only thing that prevents people with diabetes to go into remission. And yet, only one of these foods is forbidden for most people with diabetes. So I believe that now you can understand why, while she was avoiding melon religiously, she was completely unable to lose weight and to improve her numbers. So, in short, these are the same calories, But 200 calories from one of these foods will make you completely full, while the other will just make you eat more. So why would anyone tell people with diabetes to avoid fruit? Why would someone tell diabetes patients to avoid this and to eat this if they wanted us to be healthy? And well, maybe don't eat 500 grams of melon in a meal if you have diabetes. But what happens when you eat a moderate amount of it every day? This is what happened when Lisa started to avoid cheese and to eat melon instead. What happened to Lisa when she started to get informed? Everything changed when I started to follow your advice and the advice of some of the most recent publications about kidney disease. But I had to do a leap of faith because most of the foods you said to eat were off limits for me. But I was amazed at how fast my energy went up after I stopped following the old rules about eating with diabetes. I went from being a couch potato to having trouble sitting still. I couldn't believe how quickly I lost weight and my cholesterol fell over 100 points by day 17. Over the past 3 months, I've lost 30 pounds, lowered my cholesterol to 281 without statins, and raised my GFR to more than 60. I always did some exercise, but now I do it more often, and I love my morning walk before work. I'm full of energy, and as a bonus, my depression and anxiety are gone. My doctor was blown away by these numbers. She said, I'm in remission, and I don't need to see her anymore except for diabetes checkups twice a year. So Lisa decided to eat a low-protein, plant-based diet to reverse stage 3 kidney disease. After only 6 months of diligently following this lifestyle, her kidney function improved so much that her nephrologist told her to not come back. And it's not just that, she also lost a lot of weight and her cholesterol dropped. Her blood sugar levels are much better now. So I had a little interview with Lisa via email, and what I asked her was, what foods that were previously forbidden are you eating now? This is what she told me. So I changed my diet like you said in your videos. I didn't know this, but the foods they told me to eat for my diabetes, like eggs, dairy, meat, and fish, are all high in protein. True. Always avoid those foods. And I started to eat more fruits and veggies, even the ones I was told to stay away from. I always have a big serving of fruit and a big serving of veggies with each meal. Okay, this is also something I always recommend. My advice here is, especially if you need to lose weight, start the meal with fruit and veggies. As we have seen, fruit and veggies will make you feel full, so you will eat less. Now, this doesn't apply obviously to patients that need to keep their weight. Alright? If you are in stage 4, for example, and you struggle with eating enough, start a meal with those foods that are more calorically dense, like those containing fats such as oil, nuts, seeds, and high carb foods such as bread, pasta, and so on. So here's what Lisa eats in particular. I eat potatoes every day. I also love honeydew melons because they are available in winter too. So these two foods that were banned for her were eventually a huge help in losing weight and reversing kidney disease. Honeydew melons are amazing. They are not just very rich in vitamins and nutrients while being low in calories. They are also rich in fiber, great to slow down sugar absorption and to help with gut health. And while they are relatively high on the GI scale, they won't really raise your blood sugar levels too much. You see, these melons are mostly water with enough fiber to dilute the carbs per serving, and there are very few carbs in them, which means that you won't have a blood sugar spike unless you really eat a lot of melon. Potatoes are also great. They are way healthier than people realize. Potatoes, especially red potatoes, are a great source of resistant starch. This starch is not broken down and fully absorbed by the body. Instead, it reaches the large intestine where it becomes a source of nutrients for the beneficial bacteria in your gut. Research has linked resistant starch to many health benefits, including reducing insulin resistance, which in turn improves blood sugar control. Some more forbidden fruits that Lisa is eating to reverse kidney disease. I also love eating grapes now so much that I freeze them so I can eat them all year long. I love to eat mangoes. They were all forbidden. These are all foods that I was supposed to avoid when I couldn't lose weight. For 6 years I avoided these foods, just to get worse. Then I started to eat melon and potatoes and I lost 30 pounds in 6 months. Okay, so she is really in love now with all those sweet fruits that she was told to avoid. Also because they are super healthy. Great for you, Lisa, and thank you again for sharing your story. Now, I know that some of you guys are going to tell me, one single person is not enough to convince me. I still want proof that melons won't give me problems with my diabetes. Where is the proof? Okay, so one person is not enough to change your mind about fruits. Alright then, what about 500,000 people? So, this is a study conducted on 500,000 people, alright? It lasted 7 years and it was published on one of the most reputable health journals, the PLOS Medicine, with the goal of answering just one question. Is fruit good or bad for people with diabetes? Here's what they found out, and I quote, "In those individuals who already had diabetes prior to the start of the study, consuming fresh fruit more than 3 days a week was associated with a 17% lower relative risk of dying from any cause and a 13% to 28% lower risk of developing diabetes-related complications, including kidney disease, than those who consume fruit less than 1 day per week." So less risk of dying, less risk of kidney disease if you eat more fruit. Is there anything left to say? Actually, the authors of the study concluded that restricting fresh fruit intake in those with diabetes is a mistake. And obviously, you don't really want to eat half melon a day, as I was saying, but don't avoid melon, don't avoid fruit. Consume fruit in moderation so your blood sugar levels won't get too high. But science tells us that if you have diabetes, eating more fruit is always going to be good for you. And guys, if you want to learn more about what foods that are great for people with diabetes, my video up here is for you, and this is all for today. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Bye!